Good afternoon. The June 14th, 2023 special meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. As the board continues to meet in this format, we will ask all folks who are here in the room to ensure that your phone is turned off or at a minimum on silence. For those who are watching at home, this is just kind of a vote for this board. There will not be any back and forth. At this time, I do see that we have Chairman Costello from Ways and Means, as well as Chairman Robert Stokes from Education, Workforce, and Youth. I'm going to provide an opportunity for Councilman Costello to come up and address us and to provide us with the council report associated with the budget. Councilman Costello, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. C.A. Leach, on behalf of Mayor Scott, Mr. Comptroller, and honorable members of the Board of Estimates, pleased to report that we passed a balanced budget earlier this afternoon. That budget includes a couple of things. I want to thank C.A. Leach and her team for their work throughout this process, negotiating with the council and coming to an agreement that I think we are all proud of. Mr. President, I want to thank you specifically for your leadership throughout this process, the support of your staff. I also want to thank Councilman Stokes and all of our colleagues for their participation in what I think was a very productive set of budget hearings, and again, an agreement that I think we can all be proud of. This agreement specifically includes $10 million in reallocations. Those reallocations support shared priorities of the mayor and the entire council around public safety, around opportunities for our youth, around environmental concerns, and around city facilities that our employees use every day, as well as fire department apparatus. In addition, there was one cut, which you will see before you, related to mayorality-related arts and culture, specifically Baltimore Office of Promotion in the Arts. I know that the council president and the mayor and I put out a joint statement about a week or two ago reaffirming our commitment to funding our local arts community and ensuring that we have world-class special events in the city of Baltimore, as we always have. Specifically with respect to BOPA, there is a approximately $2.6 million appropriation. Approximately $300,000 of that is for small artist grants. Notwithstanding that $300,000, we made a three-quarter cut to the remaining balance of $2.3 million in change. The mayor is going to be working directly with the council president and the council on appointing a arts commission to make recommendations for things that need to happen with BOPA moving forward. As you may have heard from the City Council's budget hearing with respect to BOPA, there are very severe concerns related to the governance of that organization, which simply put is broken. In order for the city to continue its contractual relationship with BOPA, which is the shared desire of the mayor and his administration, the council president, myself, and the council, significant changes need to be made, and those changes need to be made immediately. So what we are proposing is to have this Arts Commission make recommendations, ensuring that there is representation from across the business community, the special events community, the local artist community. Their voice is critically important, and from community leaders across our city. They will make recommendations. From the council perspective, we are unanimous in our willingness to continue to fund BOPA as long as demonstrable progress is made. So this honorable board may see a supplementary appropriation prior to the end of Q1 of fiscal year 24 or September 30th, 2023, requesting an additional 1/4 appropriation for them to continue to fund their operations. And I want to be very clear. I'm certain that the president will speak on this, as he has done several times publicly. We are incredibly grateful for the hardworking women and men at BOPA who every day work tirelessly to ensure that our arts community and our local artists are uplifted, and we put on these world-class special events. So we want to be clear in that the action that the council took in conjunction with the administration will not and should not impact any of their jobs because at the end of the day, we all truly value their hard work. With that, Mr. President, again, thank you. Happy to answer any questions of the board.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, are there any questions from members of the board? Please make sure you heckle the chair of the Ways and Means Committee. We don't get a chance to see him in this form often. Come on. All right, well, Mr. Chair, thank you. I will state for the record, really excited about the job that the council as well as the administration has done. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Obviously, this is a new process to everyone involved. This has not happened in the city of Baltimore for 125 years. The council aggressively attempted to be prepared from, the resources for this process. However, we didn't necessarily get there in the time frame that we would like to. But the 2 months that we had, or 2.5 months that we had with an actual director of finance and budget, with the abridged time frame that is just structured in our charter and the way that the city kind of operates, I'm really excited at what the council was able to come up with. I think it was fiscally responsible, the approach that we took. I think the administration was very responsive as it relates to the council's concerns. When we talk about the budget hearings, how the council did ask some really hard and pointed questions. The administration professionally stood there, got the information back to us, and really worked with us. I think when we are talking about the citizens of Baltimore and looking at their officials, this was a product of work over the past 3 weeks that we all can be proud of. So I'd just like to thank everybody involved. I'm going to call her up, the director of BBMR, Ms. Laura Larson. Obviously, she's one of the main players at stake from the administration perspective. You have done an amazing job in working with us. You have worked around the clock tirelessly. We truly, truly appreciate working with you and look forward to continue to build on this process. So at this time, we're going to turn it over for you to talk to us about real property tax rates.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for those kind words, Council President Mosby. Definitely enjoyed getting to work with you and your team through this process as well. So good afternoon to everyone on the Board of Estimates. Earlier this spring, when you all approved the fiscal 24 recommended ordinance of estimates, you approved a budget that reflected the following tax rates. For real property, $2.248, and on personal property, $5.611. The council has acted on the fiscal 24 ordinance of estimates through theirs and approved up to the second reader. Based on that action, the required tax rate next year will be, for real property, will be $2.244, a 0.004 cent reduction in the overall real property tax rate. The charter requires that any time that there is a situation where the council makes a reduction in the ordinance of estimates, that reduction be reflected by showing a lower real property tax rate. Today, the Board of Estimates will be certifying that lower tax rate. However, when the council reconvenes this afternoon to finalize the fiscal 24 budget, we will be recommending that they adopt the higher tax rate for fiscal 24. That is due, in fact, to, as you heard from Councilman Costello, the council's intent to continue to work with BOPA on negotiations to potentially restore that funding in fiscal 24 by way of a supplemental appropriation. So I'd be happy to answer any questions from the Board of Estimates regarding this year's tax rate that you will be certifying today.
Are there any questions or concerns for Madam Director? Hearing and seeing none, before we take a vote, I would like to recognize Mr. CFO in the back, Mr. Moiseev, as well as Deputy Director Bob Sinemi, who's been through this more times than I probably could count. With that, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and probably second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. There's no new business before this board. I would like to say to everyone before we get up and run out of this really, really cold room that we all have to sign to authorize to send over to the council. So if you could please just wait 1 second. Madam Clerk is going to ensure that we all have the piece of paper to sign. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. The next Board of Estimates will be on June the 21st, 2023 at 9 a.m. Thank you for tuning in. We absolutely love you, Baltimore.
Snickers this time.